Hey, what is up everyone? It's Rinku, and due to real life obligations as well as my endless temple grind streams, I had to take a break from making YouTube videos. However, finally, of course, I am back, so we are going to go over not only December 6th patch notes, we are also going to go over December 13th patch notes, the theme being Mystic. Starting with the events from last week, first up we have the Mystic Beauty Contest. Create a Mystic template, upload it to the Beauty album, and have a chance to win big. This is actually still going on for another week, so feel free to create your Mystic, play around with her, and then upload it to the Beauty album. And yeah, maybe the staff will pick you. Looking at the character slot expansion coupon, we did have the ability to buy one slot with one loyalty, and it was also, if you wanted more slots, you could buy them at an extreme discount of 70%, and that is to be expected with every class release. Sorry I didn't make a video last week, but that was a thing. Last of the events from last week were the rewards you got from creating a Mystic. So everyone who created a Mystic will get 3 golden treasure chests without the keys, 1 horse flute for 7 days, and 10 mil. So pretty cool reward for encouraging so many people to try out this brand new class. One huge thing they added last week was the energy burning system. So if you're grinding on your main, or any character for that matter, and you have energy to burn because you're trying to grind, you can now spend 50 energy on either a combat or skill XP buff, or both if you want to, for 30 minutes. They cost 50 energy each, they stack with each other, and if you're sitting on a lot of energy, you can actually go quite a few hours and keep repopping this every 30 minutes. They have also revamped a bit of Savage Rift recently. You can now report players, and players who have enough reports can actually be blocked from joining the Savage Rift. So if people are intentionally going in Savage Rift and making enemies every single time, they might not show up next time. You will also now be sent the gold bars as the reward for Savage Rift in the mail from now on. There is one line at the top here that is actually very important, and this is using an alchemy stone or GM's blessing will now show one buff icon. So there's one little icon showing the alchemy stone or GM's blessing, so you can tell what that buff is, how long it lasts. I really wish they would do this with everything. You should have one food buff icon for every single food buff, and like I wish you could even like sort party elixirs on like the side so you can see who's running what, and you can see like when they're about to come off. Like, it's kind of annoying that the UI in this game is not configurable at all, but this is a really good step in the right direction. Also, on the bottom here, new gear items have been added, so you can now get pretty much beginner gear that you get for free from quest lines. The quest lines I hear do take a little bit, but it should be pretty simple, and the gear is actually very good. So if you were to create a brand new account, I would actually recommend getting this gear instead of investing money on any gear in the game, unless you can invest money to get gear better than this as far as stats go. Now, the item effects are also very interesting. So the gloves give critical hit, which you don't see very often. It's kind of a thing to min-max, but you're not going to want to build like a noob item like this because you're not going to be able to replace it with a glove that gives critical hit. However, the helmet, skill experience, that is something that could be useful forever. Even if you just have it as a switch-in, if you ever need to grind skill XP, this is one of the only helmets in the game that gives skill XP. The only other way I can think you can get skill XP from an armor set is the Lemuria set. You can even min-max and get a Laverdo, 3 out of 4 Lemuria, and this helmet to get 13% skill XP. So they're starting to add skill XP to a lot of stuff. Those are the only 2 ways I can think of, but we might see more of that too because we really need skill XP. The last important thing from last week is that they have added special slots for displaying skill cooldowns in the game. So basically what this is 10 extra quick slots that when you hover over the skill there's no description. All it is a cooldown quick slot. You can't put items in it or anything. However, you can put every single skill you have available, even the ones you couldn't drag onto quick slots before, onto these cooldown quick slots. And that means if you want to if you already had 10 skills on your quick slots, you could transfer all 10 of those to the cooldown quick slots, as long as you don't need to hover over for descriptions for whatever reason. And then you can get 12 extra empty quick slots for you to put other stuff in. So it also opens up a lot of gameplay because there are so many cooldowns that you were not able to see very efficiently. This actually affects a lot of classes. Dark Knight affects hugely, It allows us to see our iframes, it allows us to see our flows, which we previously could not. Like, it's pretty hard, and I know it affects a lot of other classes too. I've been asking a lot of people how it affects them, and they all like say that it's huge, it's helpful, it's amazing. It's pretty much like another quality of life, like locking the Black Spirit's rage. Like things that weren't meant to be an inconvenience just turned out to be, and they finally put in the change to help us. It's so awesome. Now on to today's patch notes. So first of all, the game client has been tremendously reduced in size. It is only 27 gigabytes now. It used to be over 50. That's pretty insane and very helpful. Of course, like any new class event, you can now level up your Mystic for free rewards. So level 15, 1 mil, level 25, 2 mil, level 35, 3 mil, level 55, 10 mil. So 16 mil plus all those other rewards, so you get extra combat XP scrolls, black stones, hard shards, sharp shards, advice of Valk plus 15, 10 Elion's tiers, skill add-on guide, and 2 Lauren family gift boxes if you go all the way up to that level. It's pretty simple, you could do it in a day, you have a lot more than one day, so feel free to do that, and I recommend doing it for every class when it comes out. Even if you're just going to delete the character, I mean, it's probably worth it. And it's cool to always check out the new class, of course. So there's also an event for collecting Mystic Seals. So collect enough Mystic Seals and you get black stones. 10 of them is 1 armor stone, 15 is 1 weapon stone. So just grind, kill stuff, hit 55 in your Mystic, and you get more black stones too. So that's just a bonus, and it's an indirect kind of, it's a Blackstone event, it's just Mystic themed. So the last new event today is the face-off against Piku the Yeti. Now this is another hunting event, however something interesting about this event is it drops a frosted matchlock. So you can only use regular hunting matchlocks or the frosted matchlocks to kill Piku, but what's interesting is that there's 2 different quality matchlocks. There's one that you get from the quest, but there's another one that drops from Piku. Now normally, like a quest item, like for an event, I would assume it's just an event item, probably has no use, but the fact that you get an event item to kill the boss, to have a drop for an even better event item, and the fact that hunting has very few uses in the game, and how hunting even has seasons. So if this was every year and every season you could get this, I think it would have a reason to like make this matchlock better than other matchlocks. It could be shit, but I'm thinking maybe they would give a cool matchlock with a cool effect, like how they came out with a Termian rod after the Termian event. They may like start doing seasonal things and event things that actually have meaning, like some of the event furniture is actually good, for example. So I'm gonna check it out. I don't know for sure if it is worth it, but if you're a hunter, I mean, what else are you gonna do? Hunt other things? You should hunt this. So let's check it out together. Hopefully next week I'll know. Under content changes, you can now obtain the following items from exchanging Shikatu seals: a main weapon exchange coupon and a sub weapon exchange coupon. So no one in the game on NA or EU has gotten 150 seals because it's impossible right now. We're gonna have to wait several more months, unfortunately, unless they just gift us with a lot. But before, you could only exchange an awakening. Now you can exchange a main hand, a sub weapon. So if you play this game for like maybe 4 or 5 years and they release some crazy class, that means that there's gonna be some dude that's just been collecting this for years and years and has all 3 weapons and is just gonna exchange all 3 for a new class. I can see it now, so that's pretty crazy. And that also gives all the people that were saving this for the weapon exchange for an awakening, they now have the option to use it on a main hand or a sub hand instead. So that is pretty crazy. What these exchange coupons do, by the way, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, is basically, even though it says 7 days, it's a ticket for 7 days, and you have to use it in the 7 days. You click a weapon, and it will exchange it to a different class. So a Dandelion, let's say my Vediant for Dark Knight, I could exchange it to become a Dandelion Greatsword at the exact same enhancement. So if I happen to hit Pen on one class and want to re-roll to another class, I use the coupon and it instantly transforms forever. The coupon's gone. The 7 days is stupid. I don't like why. Who would exchange it and then keep it in the inventory for 7 days, and then why punish them anyways? You could keep the seals in your inventory. I don't understand why they would do that, but yeah, just to explain that. Another huge change, Uragon shoes and Griffin's helmet have now been added to the night vendor. Now, this is pretty awesome. Uragon shoes, if you didn't know, have way more damage reduction but not as much evasion as Muskin shoes, and Griffin helmet is actually very similar, has slightly more damage reduction, but it doesn't have the 100 HP. Also, Uragon shoes has +1 movement speed, which could be used to min-max a little bit. So they're both very interesting, probably very useful, especially if you don't have their counterpart extremely fucking useful items, and you can now get them at the night vendor. So that is awesome. Holy shit, finally we have a chance to get the T9 horse, and it's higher than 1% if you've already tried. Yes, we now have fail stacks for dream horses, and now you can guarantee I will be trying a lot more. Basically, each time you fail awakening a tier 8 horse, you will get 1 awakening success chance. It's a fail stack, basically. Now, this applies to that horse, and is stacked each time you fail an awakening attempt. So, yeah. What's crazy is you can check your horse's awakening success chance from the mount info window. You can literally check what the percentage of you succeeding is. If you have already failed at awakening a courser before this update, your currently accumulated awakening success chance has been added to your horse with this update. Like, they're actually doing everything right. How are they getting this update right? They love horse trainers or something. That is crazy. It also mentions that if you put this horse that you've already fail stacked on in the horse market, the fail stacks will be reset. And it also mentions that when you fail stack on a horse, the fail stacks are linked to that horse, not your player or your account. It is that one horse. So if you try to awaken another horse, it'll have its own fail stacks. But yeah, they're really going in the right direction. I'm really happy that they're making it easier to get these dream horses, and you will see me with one someday, I promise you. On to even more updates that thoroughly impressed me today. We have the improved descriptions of main weapon and sub weapon extra monster damage. So you can see the scaling for every weapon at Pry through Pen. This does not include Kudum because Kudum already showed extra monster damage because of how important it is, but every other weapon has scaled extra monster damage depending on what upgrade it is. That's pretty good to know. Below that, we can also see some life skill outfit descriptions have also been improved. The Hunter clothes now show that they give vision range +10 and fall damage -50%. That's actually pretty huge, interesting, and possibly helpful. Also, for Trainer's clothes, we can finally see that it gives mount experience, horse catch rate increasement, and mount skill experience. All three, +15%. That's pretty good to know because all of the horse training clothes, all the descriptions were so random and had all listings of different types of experience and didn't make much sense, and I always knew that they had more use than just one of the 3 different things they could have possibly meant. And it now shows that some of the outfits give all 3. The last update we're going to look at today are the huge monster balance changes they put in place for Balanos, Serendia, and Calpheon. As you can see, the HP of all the monsters on the screen have been reduced dramatically, up to 90%, even higher than that. That's insane. The only thing they increased was their damage reduction. So if you don't have enough damage, you might not deal damage, but more than likely, if you can deal damage, they have pretty much 1/10 of their HP, so they should be easier. However, I'm not sure how much easier or harder it's going to be to kill these monsters because they now have a recommended AP range for several of these areas. And usually when they put a recommended AP range, that means they put an AP cap on the area, meaning any AP above that recommended AP is not going to be useful at all in order to kill those monsters. So you're basically limited depending on how many skills your class has and how many times those skills hit. So that is interesting. I'm not entirely sure if that 100% means that there's an AP cap. There's definitely more information on your map. There's revamped everything, so there's going to be a lot of things changed regardless. An interesting update for the Valencian side of monsters. A lot of Valencian monsters will now drop a trace of something. So you can now farm traces of whatever you want from a certain monster. And yes, you can actually farm trace of savagery from Nagas. That's pretty crazy. They also revamped the drop table of a lot of monsters in Serendia and Calpheon, so they reduced the amount of items they drop in order to organize your inventory easier while just flying through the game pretty much, because no one wants all the trash loot you actually get from those early levels. That is all I have for you today. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I love you. I'll see you guys next time.